What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to another Dragon Quest I leveling session. Yeah, in this video I'm going to do levels 3 to 5 in both the NES and the Super Famicom versions. This is where I'm grinding for level 3. In this little zone you fight red slimes, regular slimes, and Drakis. Yeah, so you can gain XP pretty easily here because Drakis have only 6 hit points and they give you 2 XP per piece. So yeah, and then we give you 2 gold too. So yeah. Since you have one use of the heal spell, you don't really need to stay at the inn anymore. What you can do is you can use the heal spell, talk to that old guy who says "May the light shine on you," and he'll give you all your magic points back. You can heal yourself up, talk to him again, and that saves you a trip to the inn, which is good because then you'll be able to save money, which is even better because in the early goings of the game, money is very hard to come by. And you want to start saving up for the leather armor, which I'm probably going to get at level 4. So yeah. One thing I'm going to do in this video, in this series of videos, because they're long, is I'm going to use this time to kind of do like a video log slash just like response videos and stuff like that, video log kind of stuff. And yeah, so but this way, it doesn't just have like me grinding, you know what I mean? This way you can actually have something to listen to while you're watching this, if you want to. I mean, I'll post timestamps of like when I'm grinding to what levels and in what game. When I upload this, it'll be in the video description. This way you can just skip ahead to whatever you want, and we'll just go from there. Now I want to respond to someone made a comment, I think on one of my Saga Frontier videos or Dragon Quest VIII. I think like about a month ago or 2 months ago or something like that. Because what I was doing about this time last year, I was kind of like celebrating my like 5-year anniversary of discovering Cold Approach Pickup, which is like, like exactly what the term suggests. Like, I would go out and I would like try and meet women and stuff like that and try and pick them up. That's what it's like a big buzzword. It's a buzz term, and that's kind of how I learned social skills. Because I used to have not a really hard time talking to people, but I used to be really quiet and shy, and it was really hard for me to carry on a conversation. And I realized that this was an issue, and it was affecting my love life. So I decided to learn about it. I decided to learn about how to talk to women and stuff like that and whatever. And it culminated in a really vast and exciting journey where I learned a lot of stuff about myself and about women and stuff like that. And now pretty much to this day, I mean, today, if I really wanted to find myself a date for a night off at my job or something like that, if I really want to, get a not really a girlfriend, but like if I wanted to get a date, I could pretty much approach probably 100 women and like make plans with at least one of them. I never used to do this before, and so I did a series of videos about it. I think I have a playlist of it. I don't know. There was the videos I did last year that I'm probably gonna do again because I don't know. I feel like I would have to redo that kind of material just because I learned different things as I grow up, and nothing stays the same, especially in the process of socializing and flirting with the opposite sex. It's just different things are learned as you grow up, and you learn different things. You pick up different things. You get rid of old bad habits that you pick up and everything like that. So yeah, I'm probably gonna redo those kind of videos, but I do remember specifically I said in one of the videos, if you're like doing nothing but playing video games and stuff like that, if you have what I call a unfulfilling hobby, and it pretty much guarantees that you're not gonna have people in your life. You're gonna be lonely if you have a hobby like this. And he said that to me. He said, "Oh, you know, you sound like a hypocrite because you're posting gaming videos online, and you're telling people not to do this if you don't want to be lonely." And I said to him, I remember I typed in my response. I said, touche, I guess, but consider the fact that I also have two more very fulfilling hobbies that surround video gaming. Those hobbies for me are going to the gym and exercising and working out, and bowling. If you want to put them in a rank order of which hobby I take more seriously, I'd put bowling as number one. Whenever I get a chance to go bowling and to get practice or to go to a league, or now that I'm moving to a different place, I just got to level 4, by the way. You get level 4 at 47 XP. And here I am at level 4. Yeah, you'll fight, yeah, so you got the leather armor there. You'll fight red slimes, Drakis, ghosts, and mages in the zone that I'm at right now, so, yeah. You just go around this little zone and you'll fight all the enemies you need to get to level 5. And I beat a couple slimes along the way, obviously. I'm going to be performing in a lot more bowling tournaments. I'm probably going to record those too, because that's a cool thing that I want to do. I may even live stream them. I don't know how to set that up, but I might do that if there's like a really cool tournament. And this laptop has a built-in webcam, so I can use that. The quality will be piss poor, but whatever. So whenever I get the chance, or the money, or the time, or people to practice with, or even as a date, I've taken several women out on bowling dates. I'll go bowling. I'll pass up gaming for that. If there was a big tournament in the morning, that's when I usually record my videos, is really early in the morning. I'm recording this in the afternoon now, and hopefully the guy I live with isn't here, but whatever. I don't think he has. I haven't heard him all day. Yeah, so. But if there's like a bowling tournament that I can go to during the morning that I've signed up for or whatever, I'll pass up recording in order to do that, so. Okay, never mind. Wait a minute. Oh, he left. Nice. As the kid I lived with, like, was just like in his room, probably listening to this bullshit. I'm moving out in like a couple weeks anyways. That's gonna be awesome. Moving in with a guy who knows what I do and stuff like that, and he watches wrestling and all that good stuff, and he likes bowling and video games just like I do, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's priority 1 when it comes to hobbies, is bowling. Like, I'll pass up any form of video gaming to go bowling. I love it that much. I love it because it's just way more fun to do than play video games. I mean, video games, yeah, they challenge you, but not as much as bowling does. I can't get nearly as curious as getting better in a video game as I can in bowling. It's just, I can't. Nothing compares to it. And he's back. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. See, I'm demonstrating the MP healing thing here. Yeah. Should have just healed all the way up, but whatever. Oh, I did. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so second on the list probably would be video games, because especially when I do challenge runs that you've seen me do, I just get curious about whether I can do that or not, or if I want to 100% a game in a certain amount of time, whatever, speedrunning. I could definitely see that being a hobby. I could definitely see someone getting obsessed about that. You know what I mean? And exercising and going to the gym, honestly, to me, it should be on a higher priority, but it's not. But I still do it nonetheless. I mean, I'm about to go to the gym now after recording this, and then I'm gonna go bowling, and then I'm probably gonna go back to the gym with my bowling buddy, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's not that I don't have a life, it's not that I don't have a life surrounding my hobbies. And I have a full-time job, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So I have a life. What I meant when I said that is if you have nothing, if you just have an unfulfilling hobby. And what do I mean by an unfulfilling hobby? I mean, unfulfilling hobby is just something you just mechanically do, and you're just like literally brain dead while doing it. I used to get in a lot of trouble with this with video gaming because I would do nothing but grinding like you're seeing here. And I remember there were like certain video games where I'd like want to get to like max level and stuff like that, and it was just pathetic because I had nothing else going for me. And I would always complain about, man, how come I don't have this girlfriend, how come I don't have that, whatever, how come I don't have more money, that kind of stuff. Well, what are you doing? You're sitting on your ass all day, playing video games, watching TV, whatever. I used to collect wrestling DVDs. I don't know why I ever did that, because a lot of these wrestling DVDs were pretty lame. I mean, most of them just sucked and just had like matches that you could find on YouTube. Know what I mean? But I didn't really have an outlet. You know, there was what I call a gap in my soul. You know, you don't have anything to, you don't have a passion, so you're gonna lose yourself in the, for lack of a better term, you're gonna lose yourself in the matrix. Meaning you're plugged into video games and TV and you know, that kind of stuff, and even like drinking and partying and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. I mean, I don't mind doing that on occasion. Same with smoking marijuana. You know, I mean, last time I got high was like 2 years ago. Like last time, legitimately, last time I took like several hits off a joint was like 2 years ago. I didn't really like it. I didn't really care for it. I said to myself, you know what? This isn't really fulfilling for me. It's not really. It didn't help me much. So I said, okay, well, I'm done with this. You know what I mean? And any other hobby that doesn't involve challenge, and doesn't put you around people, like a community. Those are pretty unfulfilling hobbies, okay? If you have a hobby that has a community around it, and you can like share what you've learned in the activities of the hobby with other people, you know, that makes it very fulfilling, and video gaming can be in that bubble. But you have to, like, let's say you're like DSP and you do fighting game stuff, and you are or were and you would compete in Street Fighter Super Turbo tournaments. There's a community that's based around that. It's almost like me with my bowling tournaments. You know what I mean? Compare that to someone who just sits around and paradoxically does what I'm doing right now and just grinds it in JRPGs all day. I mean, it's not healthy to do the latter, but doing the former, you know, you make friends that way. You build a community of that way. You build what they call an ecosystem of fulfilling hobbies and obligations that way. You know what I mean? You realize that you have only a limited amount of time in a day to get practice in, to compete, and whatever. So you use all of your time. You know what I mean? So any hobby, really, depending on how you take it, depending on whether or not you're challenging yourself and placing yourself around like-minded individuals who have the same passion, that really determines whether or not a hobby is going to be fulfilling or not. Some hobbies are used just as an escape. I mean, there is someone I know who is really religious and stuff like that, but you can tell that she's running from something. And a lot of people do this with religion because they don't feel like they can solve their issues on their own, so they feel like their religion's going to solve the issue for them. And this woman, in my opinion, is just really creepy. She has an ulterior motive behind each and every one of her words. I don't want to say she's hypocritical, but she's definitely not. You could tell that she's running from something. You could tell that she's running from pain. And it's very common that people do that. And I think people do that without them knowing it. Happens a lot, like I said, with religion. It happens with, bad habits like drinking and gambling and even video games and drugs and stuff like that, and getting high and all that good stuff. I mean, just like anything, like a hobby can turn into a really bad addiction that is really detrimental to your lifestyle and your ecosystem. So you have to watch out for that. Even cold approach pickup, or what I call modern day courtship. Even that, even going out and trying to hit on girls and trying to take them home and trying to get a different date every week with a different woman, you know what I mean? Even that can be detrimental. Even that can take over in a really negative way where it becomes who you are and where your level of happiness depends solely on how you did in that hobby. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, if I bowl like a bad game or a bad series or I didn't perform really well in a tournament, does it make me feel bad? Sure, but am I gonna be overly upset about it? Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Maybe for a few hours, maybe for a day or so, or until I go bowling again. But I'm not gonna let it ruin my life. I'm not gonna put all my money into it. I'm not gonna sacrifice everything for it. You know what I mean? Anyways, I want to back off for a little bit on my vlog and demonstrate this little area. This is what they call a scorpion's nest. Why they call it the scorpion's nest? Well, you can fight scorpions here. And you can fight little, advanced, level type enemies in that little one area zone. See, I just fought a Draki here. But you go one step south, and it puts you in a completely different enemy zone. To where you can fight ghosts, scorpions, magidrakis, and magicians. And not skeletons. There's another enemy zone that does include skeletons, but I'm not going to show that off now, obviously. Yeah, so from level 4 to 5, I'm going to be grinding there. I'm actually going to be doing a lot of my grinding in that little area for a while. Yeah, because it's a really effective way to level grind in this game. So, let's see. Back on hobbies. Yeah, and some hobbies, some hobbies just are performed at the expense of others. I mean, look at bronies, for example. Okay, look at all these little groups that they literally put themselves out there and they just they say ridiculous things. They act in a ridiculous manner. They dress a really ridiculous way. They do that. Oh, and here's the Super Famicom version. They do that because they want attention. You know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah. So just like in the NES version of level 3 and 4, I'm just gonna do my grinding here. It'll be a lot quicker, obviously, because the enemies they give you a lot more XP. They have a lot less defense power. They have a lot less attack power. The Super Famicom version of this game is much more streamlined. I'm using that term a lot lately, I don't know why, than the NES version, so, yeah. Which is a very good thing. Yeah. But it really is up to, it's up to you to determine whether or not your hobby is being productive or not. Whether it's being whether you think that your life is fulfilled because of said hobby. And I'll let you know right now, if I got so good in bowling that I really didn't like it anymore, then I would have given it up. In fact, that actually happened to me. When I was a child, I was like 8 years old, and I'd be beating all my other 8-year-old counterparts. Just that it would just be all like automatic. Like everyone, like I would just beat everybody because my average was like 120, and this was back in 1990. 1990. Yeah, this is when plastic bowling balls were first coming out, and if you've ever watched bowling on TV, you'll see these guys like curve the ball. You'll see these guys like throw these giant monster curves. That was very very rare back in the late 80s and early 90s. You literally had to throw the ball like right up the middle and hope for a strike, and I would just be really 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 accurate at it. And while everyone else was averaging like maybe like 60, 70, my average when I was 8 years old was like in the hundreds. It was unheard of. In Candlepin, it was like in the 60s. That's even more unheard of. And they started matching me up with high schoolers and middle schoolers who carried like 150 averages, and it was really demotivating because I said to myself, one, these guys are significantly older than me. I can't, be friends with them. And two, it's just the way they're beating me all the time is just demotivating. And what 8-year-old wants to go through that? No one. No 8-year-old wants to go through that ever. So I gave up bowling for a little bit and came back when I was 21, I think, because then I was able to enter myself into tournaments and leagues as a adult bowler. So why am I grinding here in Garanham for level 5 in the Super Famicom version and not the Scorpion's Nest? Well, it's because they took away the enemy zone in the Scorpion's Nest for the Super Famicom and the Game Boy Color versions of the game. So yeah. But anyways, my final take on hobbies and stuff like that, and just a generally healthy lifestyle where you have a good ecosystem. My advice really is just to spend a minimum of 8 to 12 hours outside of the house. You stay in the house too much, and you'll drive yourself batshit insane. It's almost a proven fact. It's almost a scientifically proven fact that if you stay in the house for more than 12 hours a day, and I mean, of course, this counts sleep, obviously. So if let's say you sleep like, let's see, how long do I sleep usually? Like 6 to 8 hours. Anywhere from 4 to 6 hours is ideal, but I usually get like 6 to 8 hours. But I aim for 4 to 6. So 6 to 8 hours you spend in bed, okay, and then you wake up and you eat and whatever, and that's like maybe like a hour or so process. And then you go to work, and that's another 8 hours. And assuming that you work full time, so that's whatever. But you gotta spend time outside the house. You gotta do it. I mean, if you spend any more than 12 hours in a row outside the house or inside the house, you'll gain weight. You'll get sicker often because you won't be around stuff that your body can protect itself from. You won't have a really good social life because you won't be able to understand people a lot. And there was a time in my life where I spent the better part of I want to say 12 to 16 hours per day at the house, and I felt miserable. I felt awful and miserable. And this was when I had a job, and this was when I had college classes and stuff like that. It's because I wasn't going out enough and enjoying myself outside the house. That's what really caused a detriment. That was really detrimental. So, yeah. And if you have hobbies that can do that, then, you pretty much have a good head start, and you'll you'll be happier as a person. These people will just sit in the house all day. It's it's pretty pathetic because they just they don't seem right. They don't. You know, you get bad vibes from them. Uh, I remember that because that was told to me back in the day. You know what I mean? Explicitly. They'd be like, you know what, you don't seem like you get out much. And I would admit that I didn't. I'd be like, nah, not really. I just stay in the house all day usually after going to work, if I would go to work at all. I mean, it depends. You have to have a job you like going to too. If you have a job where you don't like going to it, you're gonna find reasons to stay in the house and call in sick and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, that's my little rant on fulfilling hobbies. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed this grinding sessions. These are going to get a lot longer, by the way, just letting you know right now. Yeah, this is just the beginning. The grinding in this game gets a lot more intense, it gets a lot more tedious, so yeah. Hope you prepare yourself. Alright, I'm out of here. This is the Big Jew telling you to keep being awesome. Peace.